Today, we're going to discuss revenue reports in LeanLaw, in particular, the Revenue by Attorney report. We'll take a look at the report, what the columns represent, and what you can do with that data, and then the behind-the-scenes settings that affect these reports. I open the Revenue by Attorney report and set the time period to this year, 2021. That means all these columns and the transactions that represent them are from 2021, this year. When I look at the collected column, these are payments that were made this year. Note that if you have an invoice that was from 2020 or prior, it will not be included in the billed total or billed services, but it will be included in the collected total for 2021. Now let's talk about the share origination and adjusted share. The share is the derivative of what you set the user's fee credit percentage to be. That's generally at the responsible attorney or at the working attorney. That can be from the firm level, the user level, or the matter level. The origination is simply the origination percentage that you set for each matter. The adjusted share is the share plus the origination. Now let's take a look a little bit deeper into this report. I'm going to click on a specific user, Chris Richards. From this view, I can see the client view of everything we were just looking at, broken down by client. I can also drill into the specific client and view those invoices and payments. I can go a step further and view the allocation detail, which is simply going to show that work, share, and origination that we saw on the prior screen, but broken down by that specific payment. You can also print and export this report. Note that however you sort is how it will print, and that's going to go to PDF. You can also export the data to Excel to manipulate it however you would like. Once again, however you have sorted the columns is how the export will show on the PDF or Excel document. Now let's take a look at behind the scenes, and then afterward, how to change some settings that affect this report. Let's go to the settings section and go into the reports. This is where we begin to set up our logic behind the Hale and Dorr Revenue by Attorney tracking. So this number shows what the firm agrees to pay for origination. The firm may take a share out if that's their policy. That can be 0 if the firm does not take a share. Below are the checkboxes related to the logic on applying the revenue share at the firm or user level. This can override the firm settings and allows you to set up user-based origination. Not every firm uses a universal number for origination, depending on tenure or other factors. That's where that referral comes in. If you look at Fred, he gets 10% of origination, and then another person, FL, gets 5% as a referral. That's a unique feature. It's not commonly used, but it's a convenient function to have to separate it. So we've gone from the firm level to the user level, and next is the matter level origination tracking. Within a specific matter, I can go into the billing and rates section. This is where I can override settings at the matter level and change the origination amount. So Harvey and Lewis are splitting that origination. They each get 10%. If we have fixed fees, we can split revenue allocation on the fixed fee. Even though only one person is visible on the invoice, that's what that check means. Both Courtney and Donna would be splitting the allocation either by a percentage amount or a total amount based on whatever rules are applied to this particular matter. Back in the reports section, I can look at that revenue by attorney or by originators. If I want some macro numbers of what was originated, I can look at my originators and see what was billed and what was collected for them. Everything is exportable. Even in the Revenue by Attorney report, you always have the ability to download the allocation detail. So whether you want to take this top-level report and export it for further manipulation, or I want the underlying allocation detail, all of that data is a click away. Knowing that not every firm follows the same model, LeanLaw helps you get your data out of the system. Let's go to the billing cycle. In law firms, not only do they have to track revenue, they have to know who originated it, who was responsible, and who worked on the matter. Law firms also have to distribute those payments. Within the Distribution tab, this is where we draft and approve our bills, where we deliver them to our clients and pay them. This is the distribution architecture to deal with different distribution periods, and then assigning payments to those periods. The idea is that it's not always a fixed 30-day period, and the dates, this year, this month, don't always match up to what the attorneys received from a compensation standpoint. because it might be part of April's payments and there happens to be one in May, and that gets delivered early to the attorney. This function lets you look at a certain distribution period and see all associated payments. These reports can be exported to Excel. So these are all specific payments that were made, and they've all been added to this 1231 payment. What does that look like for the attorneys looking at their revenue? They might come back into the revenue by attorney report, and instead of looking at a time period, they might want to go look at a distribution point. They'll see that on that 1231 distribution date, I expected to receive $19,424.50. The underlying details are there, all the way down to the payment information and the allocation detail. So that is LeanLaw's methodology for Hale and Dorr. Thanks for watching.